What's up, guys? Welcome to Bro Beats. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to place kicks, and this should work with any genre or style that you want. If you guys haven't subbed already or turned post notice on, make sure you do so because it does help the channel a lot. Let's hop right into it. So the first thing that we need is a melody. I'm just going to make basic chords. I'm going to use Keyscape, and then we need a bass line. So that's something that you need if you want to follow this video. So I'm going to make something quick. Let's just grab in the scale. It really don't matter. Let's just do a C sharp minor. All right, and let's go in Keyscape, and I'm gonna just make some quick chords. So I'm just go ahead and do that. All right, so we got the chords down. So now let's pick some sounds. So what we could do, I'll just put this here. Okay, and then let's pick a sound here. All right, so that's good. So now we need a bass line. So I'm gonna just make a pretty basic bass line here. All right, so that is our melody. So now let's get into our primary kicks. All right, so now we're with our primary kicks. So now one thing you want to keep in mind with the kick is you're putting emphasis on parts of your melody or your just beat, right? That's pretty much what you're doing. Your hi-hats, melody, and 808 carry the rhythm. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but it pretty much just carries the rhythm. And I would suggest, if you're new to producing or whatever, is to place those first. Don't place your kick. I know everybody want to make the kick hit and all that, but place your 808 melodies first. And then from there, that will give you everything you need in order to place the kick so that you have a good rhythm, all right? And then once you get really good, you can kind of do whatever. So now, real quick, the easiest way to do it, you can just copy your 808 pattern and place it here. It'll have bouncing and everything. You can Control A, Alt K, boom, you're done. Your kicks are done. You can take some out. That's the easiest way to do it, but that doesn't translate all the time. So you need to know how to do it without just copy and pasting. So one little trick that I do is, you see where the 808 changes pitch? So right here, right here, right here. Where the 808 changes pitch is where you want to put your primary kicks at. And these are I just call them primary kicks to kind of separate. Press Alt K, accept, and these are your primary kicks. Okay, so that's like a rule of thumb to follow. Whenever the 808 changes pitch, you can just put a kick there. All right, that's the easiest way to go about it. All right, it's always gonna work and it's always gonna sound good. All right, so now let's move on to the second part. Now we're doing our secondary kicks or in-betweens. Now this one is basically just your preference, okay? But I'm gonna show you kind of a rule of thumb to follow so that you can kind of know where to place these. So basically, these secondary kicks, where you want to place them is where your 808s would be. So if you fill this in, so I'm gonna just do it up here. And if you've seen the 808 placement tutorial, you will know these spots. These spots right here, if you just look up here, they're where all the 808s would probably go, right? Most likely to get maximum bounce, all right? So knowing this information, you can look down, and if you pull down, this is where you can put your kick. Okay, now I don't usually put the kick every single time on the 808. Like every time the 808 hits. I don't. I usually put it off a little bit. Okay, so those are like the in between. So this is like our primaries, and boom, it's revealed to you the in betweens. So you can choose any of these green spots up here for your kick. Now, depending on where you place these, is going to change the rhythm a little bit. So I'm gonna show you what I mean. So if I place one here, let's do one here, right on the 808. Now, if we move them to this spot, all right, just from experience, if you do it like this, it'll give you a lot of bounce. Now, you're probably like, okay, whatever. But I'm trying to tell you that we don't even have our hi-hats. We don't got no perks. We don't got a snare. We don't got a clap. It's a lot of other stuff that we got to put in here. So don't worry if it sounds empty. It's going to fill it up. All right, so that is how you would place your in-betweens. And if you want to, you can, like on a different pattern, you can kind of put them on the kick. I mean, on the 808 if you want. And then maybe at the end, we could just put one there, okay? And usually at the end, I'll put like a kick here or here just to put emphasis on the second loop. So I'm actually just copy this back over so it will be consistent. So let's play it one more time. All right, so now we're gonna go on to the next one. All right, so now is the emphasis. Now this would be any kicks that will help put emphasis on the next kick. All right, and I will usually place these right before these pitch drops. So you probably see a lot of people do this all the time, but I'm kind of giving you a structured way to kind of go about doing it so that you can do this in any genre. Okay, so remember the primary kicks, where we place the primary kicks where the pitch changes in the 808. So right here, right here, right here, right here. Those will be our primary kicks. Now, knowing that, you can put emphasis when it drops by putting a kick right before. Now I have my grid on 1/2 a beat, and this is like perfect for the kicks. But I'm gonna highlight these to put so you can see like it put an emphasis, and I'm gonna just go through. So we got one here. We got one here, okay, and then we put one here and one right before here. Now this is doing a lot. This is too much. Realistically, if I was just making a beat by myself or whatever, I would not put one here. I'll probably just keep it like this, honestly, right? Use it moderately, but let's just put them all in so you can kind of get the gist. And I'm gonna highlight them for you. Highlight all these, and this is putting emphasis. And I'm gonna even make these a little shorter so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's pretty much how you put emphasis on certain notes or certain kicks. All right, and this will work either way. Now, if you have yours set like this, I know this is getting a little crazy, but if you have yours set like this, you can also do it here. It works either way. You don't just have to have it on a primary kick. Right, you see how it gives you a slightly different feel. All right, so that is the end of the emphasis, and let's move on to the next one. All right, so now we're going to be doing the offbeat kicks. Now this is a combo of everything we've learned up until this point. So basically this is where this will create a lot of bounce if used correctly. Now with these, they're pretty much like the emphasis kicks, right? Where they play either right before or right after. So if I pull this down, here's the 808. It plays right before or right after any 808 placement, right? Or any 808 note. So it could be right here. It could come right here. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, and usually you hear it after, right? And it'll create a lot of bounce. And we don't even have hi-hats or anything in. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It either right here or right here. I like it after the 808, and I usually typically don't leave it like this. I usually would just leave it somewhere like this. So All right, so I'm gonna just leave one of those in, and I'm gonna keep this how it is, and let's just copy this over. So those are like off beat, and you can also take notes out, because this could count as a off beat as well. Okay, just to give you different rhythms and everything. All right, so that's pretty much it for that one. So now let's move on to the next one. All right, so this is a placement tutorial. So we're gonna be doing thirds. There's a lot of stuff I'm brushing over and not really telling y'all because it doesn't really involve the placement necessarily. So I will probably do a like full tutorial, kick tutorial, whatever, but this is just placement. So I have to involve the grid. So with the placement, you can put thirds or triplets into your kick pattern as well. I don't usually do this often, but just a place I would put it is right here. I don't usually put it in the beginning, but like on this third bar on out, and then on the seventh bar on out is where I will place it, because it doesn't really sound too well on these other parts. So if you put it to lock it to the third, 1/3 beat, and then you place one there, and now you have like your little thirds. And then to kind of help it not sound weird, I always place one on the 808. Wherever the next 808 is, I'll place the kick there. All right, so I'll play it. All right, and you can pan it and do all this other stuff, but I'll go over that in another video. But that's pretty much it. Just use this lightly. I don't really do this too much, maybe on certain beats. But yeah, I'm gonna move on to the next one now. Now, real quick for variation, let me just simplify this a little bit. So this is the exact copy. So a lot of times for variation, people, they just start to go crazy. They like, oh, this is the drop, I gotta go crazy. You know, put a whole bunch of kick snare, but you don't have to do that. All you need to do is just add those other kick in betweens that you didn't use. So put one there, you know, and then we have one here, and it'll sound different. Trust me, it'll sound, that's enough kicks. That's, to be honest with you, even this is a lot of kicks for me, but this is way too much. But if you do want to like make the kicks hit, you know, a lot, that's something you could do, is just put the rest of those in betweens in like that. Okay, so that is the variation. Now the last one would be just transposing your kick notes. Now I don't see people doing this a lot, but when you have like these jumps and these slides and stuff in your 808, sometimes it doesn't sound, the kick doesn't hit right away. So I'll just play it. Now with this beat right here that I have, all I would have to do is just mix the kick and 808 and it would be fine. But if yours isn't hitting how you want it to, and it just sounds like, it doesn't sound good, it just sounds thin, you can transpose the notes. Okay, instead of trying to look for another kick sample, you can just transpose the notes. Okay, and don't worry about, oh, well, what if the 808 isn't playing? You can always make it unique and create a different copy and just pull it back down for like a different part. All right, so that's pretty much it. If you did have a lower, if your kick isn't sound too good with your overall beat, you can transpose all of them. I usually just do it one down. If I have like a really, so like my beat is really low, like an A sharp right here, I will pull it down to like a B maybe, or even up to the D right here. Okay, so, or I mean not the C sharp, but you don't have to do that. It's just something like quick fixes. All right, but that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully this was helpful. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.